When the Wolves of the 1950s came out to play, it was serious business. Their predecessors had been fed monkey glands by Frank Buckley, the Major, who almost won the double in 1939. They'd been taught new tricks by Ted Vizard, the wizard from Wales. Now they were jumping to it under Stan Cullis, an England centre-half of distinction, a disciplinarian and original thinker. Cullis's Wolves, who won the Cup in 1949, were led by Billy Wright, a black country lad who became his country's idol, intensely competitive, scrupulously fair. A tireless worker too, the ideal man to carry on to the field Cullis's tactical ideas.
Stan Cullis got some maps and he got plans how to score goals. And if you got from your goal area to their goal area in less than 4 passes, you got more chance of scoring a goal by hustling and bustling and get there. If you got 8 to 10 passes, you wouldn't get, goals as often. And that's how we wanted to play. And of course, it suited us because we had the 2 wingers, and in the championship side, Hancocks and Mullen. They were unusual, Gerald, in as much the ball could come over from either wing, whether it was to Mullen or to Hancock, and they hit the ball on the volley. They didn't stop it, they hit it. Now, that was very unusual. I mean, in the great Matthews and Finney, they couldn't do that, but Hancocks and Mullen could, and that's how we used to get a lot of goals. You go past the far post, and the ball would be in the back of the net before you could say Jack Robinson. That was, I think, one of our great assets. Plus the goal of being fit. Major liked the players to be fit, and Stan did. I mean, we trained very, very hard, running. We'd opened up, let's say Tuesday morning, running about 3 miles. Then you go down to a mile, then 800, then 200, and then the sprints.
And when did you see the ball?
About 5 minutes afterwards. That's all we got. But the number of times that we won our matches in the latter stages of the game, the last 10 or 15 minutes, purely and simply, we were the fitter side.
Claytor has got it down. Who back? And it is! That's it! Well, what a game this is. There's the Wolves' 4th goal. They've come back from 3-0 down to 4-3 and just about 2 minutes left for play, and the Wolves now leading 4-3.
The Cullis philosophy brought titles in the wake of goals. 96 were scored in 1954, 103 in 1958. That season, Molyneux's trophy parade lacked only the FA Cup. There was a new goalkeeper then. Bert Williams, the supreme athlete, had given way to Malcolm Finlayson, a large, formidably sound Scot. Still there were Eddie Clamp, dark and dangerous, Ron Flowers, fair and elegant, and Bill Slater, the maverick.
He never really became what we call a professional at heart until we played in Moscow. We played Moscow Dynamo, and he was playing against the inside forward called Ivanov. And Clampy was the other wing half, Eddie Clamp, who didn't mess about, as you know. And he was tackling this Ivanov, and he turned and he spat in Bill's face. And he says, Slater, he said, you've got to do it. You've got to get that man. He's insulted you. About 5 minutes later, Bill had this marvellous tackle, good tackle, but really hit him hard. And Eddie Clamp turns to Bill, he said, you're a pro.
Johnny Hancocks, whose dribbling skills and ferocious shots with his size 5.5 boots had made him a star in '54, had gone by 1958. There was a new partnership on the right flank. Norman Dealey, another little winger with pace and a stunning shot, was now enjoying the benefit of Peter Broadbent's clever ball play and accurate passing.
Broadbent brilliantly going past Jones, and it comes inside to Dealey, and the Wolves now streaking down towards the Everton goal. Dealey trying a shot, and a great goal by him.
Jimmy Murray, from the same Kent village as Broadbent, emerged as one of the most consistent scorers Wolves ever had.
Swinging it on for Murray to go for. There's Murray, it's a goal, a beauty. And a lovely corner, a great goal by Murray. Topple losing it through. Murray and there's Dealey now. Pushing it through, there's Murray going onto it, tries it, and
in 1959, Wolves retained their title with more sustained attacking football. They were into a sequence of 4 successive seasons, in each of which they topped 100 goals in the league alone. But post-war Britain had been dazzled to discover that foreigners could play our game too. Russians, and heaven help us, Hungarians. But in some vibrant friendlies under Molyneux's lights, the brilliance came from the Wolves, when they took on Honved, Kočiš, Puskás, Chibor and all, Wolves spoke for the nation.
We won again, I think, because of our fitness, of our desire to win. I know the pitch was a bit heavy, as we always used to walk the pitch anyway, but it was just superb fitness, and they didn't know how to cope with our attacking ability. They wanted to play like the Hungarians played beautiful football, but at their own speed. At the back, they always played it quietly, and when they broke fast with the wings like this. But we always played it quick from the start, and I think that's what upset the teams we played. And I think that Honved game, everybody wanted us to win, not just the Wolves fans, but everybody in England, to take back, to see what we could do, having been beaten by them. And it was, the people in the town, you go around now, come on, Wrighty, get them working tonight, you've got to beat this lot, and that was tremendous. And people, not only England, I mean, the letters I used to get from Europe, saying how they'd seen it, or they'd heard about it, they'd read about it, how good it was to do this. And that's when I think Wolves then became not just an English club, they were a European club.
Volki, that's Russian for Wolves, and it's become Wolverhampton Wanderers' nickname during their Moscow visit. Between matches, they tour the capital and enter the Kremlin, the historic fortress which is the seat of the Soviet government. With them goes our cameraman Cedric Baines, first British newsreel man to be allowed inside its towering walls.
In Moscow, Wolves played the Dynamos, who'd given us our first exciting taste of Soviet football in the 1940s. Bouquets, literal and figurative, were plentiful. Wherever the best were, Wolverhampton Wanderers were in demand, a yardstick for others to measure themselves. And back home, the sports programme the whole country watched turned its attention to Molyneux.
Good evening, welcome to Sports Cure. This evening, we sent a mobile unit to Wolverhampton Wanderers, the Football League champions. And to find out what's happening at Wolverhampton tonight, we can see their training. David Coleman, please come in.
Well, now, what makes the Wolves such a remarkably successful club? What goes on behind the scenes?
What went on behind the scenes then may look standard today, but those Wolves were ahead of their times in the 1950s with weight training, the most up-to-date treatment for injuries, and with their plans for the stadium of the future.
This is a model of the new ground, isn't it, Mr. Baker?
Yes.
What's the present capacity here at Molyneux?
Roughly 55,000.
And what will the new ground hold then?
Just over 75,000.
Well, now, thank you very much for allowing us to come along, Mr. Baker. You're England's representative in the European Cup this year. The best of luck. And I wonder if that championship shield there will find a resting place here at the end of next season.
Well, there'll be a devil of a lie if it doesn't.
Sadly, the rainbow faded before Wolves could bank the crock of gold. Today, the tradition is preserved in the old gold of the shirts, but the glitter has gone, and no one feels it more acutely than Billy Wright.
But the town of Wolverhampton needs success. It needs a team that can go. I hope it comes back. It'll be a hard road back. But it's been so disappointing, because I think of the teams and the names of the players that I played with, and I thought, I wish to turn the clock back. But you can't, but I do it because the town does need a good football side.